Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, also known as Wide Open Randy, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show helps raise the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts. Holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a great person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Yo, let me hit you with some truth here. And it's actually some truth that I've known for a long time, but I've just been really fucking hard-headed to really accept it, right? And it really is all about just that. It takes more energy for you to recover than it does for you to just stay in the damn game, right? Like skipping one workout becomes a week. A missed day night becomes distance. A lazy day at work becomes a slump. And now you're not maintaining. You're clawing your way back. You see, this episode is your warning shot, my friend, and your solution. Right? And I say that because it's taken me a long time to really accept, to really process, to really admit that I need to just stay in the fucking game instead of just being, all right, I'm going to recover it, and I'm going to come back even harder. Like, no, that shit doesn't work. Right? Like it, and the best way that I can give you this example is when you're training, when you're doing physical exertion. And because it's so vividly real when you're doing physical exertion, let's say you're running and you're running with someone that's faster than you, right? Like it takes more energy if you fall behind than to catch back up than it does for you to just maintain that pace. Right? But what happens is that when you're trying to maintain that pace, you're like, oh my God, I can't go. Oh my God, I feel like I'm going to die. Oh my God, I can't breathe. Oh my God, this all these starts going up. And then, fuck it, I give up. Right? And then you stop running. Right? And then you're like, oh fuck, I got to catch up. So now it takes way more fucking effort to get back up to that person where you were. Right? Then if you would have just focus on your breathing, focus on mental clarity, focus on empowering yourself, right? And sticking through and keeping the game, than it would be to actually catch up. Because the problem is that when you think you can catch up, you actually don't catch up. It takes way more energy to fucking do it in the first place, and you end up most of the time not even catching back up. Right? So this episode right here, what it's going to do is going to frame the vision, right, as a tactical mindset training for yourself, right? Like it's not no motivational fluff. It's something that you can build systems on, right? Something that has worked for me and something that, I'm still struggling to get through it because sometimes, our flesh desires are like, no, we're the man. We can get through this. Well, just need a break. I'm going to catch up. But it takes putting your ego aside, my friend, and actually admitting that, I just need to fucking keep up. I just need to stay in the game. I just need to stick with this long enough for me to actually see the results instead of saying, I'm going to take a break and I'll catch up later, which you end up fucking, you ain't going to catch up. It's going to be so much more effort to get back to where you were. You're going to be like, fuck this shit. You see, momentum is a muscle, right? And you lose it fast if you don't fucking use it. Momentum makes things like easier, right? It makes everything feel easier when you have momentum on your side. But when you stop, the moment that the ball stops rolling, right, it's the moment that everything gets heavy again, right? The hardest lift in the gym is always coming back after quitting, right? Your mind, your body, your relationships, your spirituality, like they all respond to rhythm, right? And you break that rhythm, my friend, and then you pay. It's not about being perfect, right? It's about showing up at 80% or at 50% or at 25% when you don't have 100% in you, but still fucking showing up. Right? Like, let's say that you skip the gym for 3 days, right? Well, coming back on day 4 feels like day 1 again. Yeah, I get it, right? But it actually takes you coming back, right? And so maybe this time around, you're not going to skip the gym for 3 days, right? Maybe this time around, you realize that you're fucking tired as fuck and that you can't, you've been a long fucking day. You've been working for like fucking 14, 16 hours straight and you still have to get decisions. So today, we're not going to go ham on the gym, give it 120%. Today, we're going to go and we're going to go for a walk, right? And so what happens is that you keep up instead of just trying to recover, because at the end of the day, recovering feels a lot worse. It takes a lot more energy from you, right? Or let's say that you ghost your side business for a week, right? Well, it takes two 2 more weeks to just get back to neutral, right? I'm living proof of this shit, right? Like the podcast, the my coaching, the social media things, right? Like all this stuff is a side business. It's a passion for me. I do this because I genuinely feel a calling to serve others, and to help people get out of the fucking rut and to empower themselves and be better man, for the wife, for their family, for their kids, for everyone around them, right? Like this shit is what I feel called to serve. I literally feel like God placed me and gave me this amazing capabilities that I have in motorsports, right? I can fucking ride a bike, pretty fucking gangster. I love to go fast, all this. I feel like God gave me these gifts and merged them with my passion to get ahead in life, to help others. And now we're creating a movement to help others, motorsport enthusiasts, specifically married gearheads, that are share the same passions as I do, to take things to the next level, right? And so I'm gonna stop that, right? But a lot of times it's like, yo, man, I had a long fucking day at work, man. Man, I still got to do my workouts. Man, I still got to do this. Oh, I'm building a car. Oh, I got to take my wife on date night. There's so many things that come before, right? And it's so easy to put this to the side, right? Like it's so easy to not give it all I got on this, right? But I got to stay focused. I got to remember why I started. I got to remember what is the bigger mission, right? And when I do that, it's so much easier to keep up. Right? Like I'll be truthfully fucking transparent with you, right? I usually stay ahead of my podcast about 2 weeks ahead, right? The reason why I always try to stay 2 weeks ahead is because sometimes life happens. You have a trip, you have a family event or something, and I typically record my podcasts on Saturdays, right? And so, if there's like last Saturday, there was a family event, right? All Saturday. And then Sunday was Mother's Day, right? And we all had a busy day. And so that weekend I couldn't get nothing done. And so, bam, 1 week ahead. And then this whole week I was busy, man. I was chasing. I was fucking chasing 75 hard because Sunday we went to sleep late as fuck. And then Monday we woke up late, chased the day. Tuesday chased the day. Wednesday chased the day. Thursday chased the day. Friday chased the day. The whole fucking week. After work, we're just fucking getting the task done of 75 hard. And I was making sure that we fucking make this happen because I'm doing it for my wife. And she's gonna finish this shit. And it takes me taking the lead and putting a lot more on my plate to make sure that she finishes what she fucking started, right? And so this week, here we are Saturday, right? Prepping the podcast for next week. And so I fell behind, but it's all good. We'll get back up next week, right? And so what I mean is that it's easier for you to keep up than than it is to recover, right? And so like now, for me to get back on a 2 week ahead schedule, right? That means that I got to record, 6 episodes next week, right? And after next week, as long as I record those 6, then the following week I'll be back to 3, right? But it goes back to the message of this episode today, right? It takes more energy for you to recover than it is to keep up, right? And so recovery is not just time, my friend. Like, you see, your recovery that I'm talking about here, well, time is a big one, right? It's more about energy. It's more about your emotions. It's more about your confidence, right? It's more about like your mindset and what happens in your emotions and everything that gets around with that, right? You see, when you feel behind, you don't just lose progress. You lose belief. You lose confidence. You lose like this drive that you have because you know that you've been making shit happen, and all of a sudden you start falling behind and things start piling up and you're like, oh my God, it all feels like it's falling apart. I don't know if I could get back to it, right? But you can, right? You see, recovery just doesn't come, it just doesn't cost time. And I laughed right there because I was like, fuck, like recovery actually one of the hardest part about recovery is the time that you gotta put in order to get back to where you were, right? But it doesn't just cost time, right? Like the bigger thing here, even though time is such a big one, it costs willpower. Because it's gonna take willpower for you to actually set that time aside for you to get back caught up with the things that you need to do, right? And getting back requires motivation. Getting back requires momentum. Getting back requires mental gymnastics, right? Like you have to have mental toughness in order to fucking really stay focused on what's important for you to create that ball rolling again, for you to create that momentum, for you to create that progress in your life so that you're not having to recover all the time instead of just keeping up. Right? You're staying consistent, even at a low level, my friend. It keeps your identity intact, right? It keeps like you at peace. Because you know that even though you didn't want to show up that day, but you still did it. It might not have been at 150%. It might have been that day at 75, 50, 25%, whatever it is, but you still showed up. And that right there keeps your identity intact because you showed up when you didn't want to. Like, just think about it. Like imagine like when you go off your diet, right? This is a big one for a lot of people, and I'm guilty of that shit too. Like the guilt and frustration, it fucking snowballs, right? And it's not just the weight, right? It's your mindset that takes a hit while you're doing that, right? Or let's say when you stop communicating with your wife consistently, right? Because you're busy, you're going on, you had a fight, and then the day comes up, and then you get home from work, and hey, then whatever, and you start communicating with her. Well, that conversation doesn't just pick back up where it left off, my friend. Right? It creates distance, right? And you actually have to start closing that distance so you can get back to just the baseline of where you were. And it's going to take more energy for you to recover just to get back to where you were than you would have been if you would have just kept up. And this is the whole point of today's episode, right? You see, low energy consistency beats high energy comebacks. And that is the biggest thing that you will have to battle with your ego. Always thinking, I can come back. Oh, I can come back. Oh, I can come back. And so because you think that you can come back all the time and not realizing that it takes more energy to fucking recover, you're constantly giving up. You're constantly quitting. You're constantly, when it gets hard, right? Instead of saying fucking doing whatever you need to do to keep up, even if it's at a low energy consistency rate, you just give up. You're like, oh, I'll come back later, right? But that giving up creates massive shifts inside your head that break your self-belief, that break your confidence, that break your ability to show up consistently, my friend. You see, stop trying to be the comeback king. Like, fuck that shit. Be the guy who never leaves the fucking ring. High performers aren't perfect. Like, they're really not. And that's the thing that I've had to really learn throughout this whole time. Thinking that, if you're a high performer, you're a fucking beast and nothing goes wrong. And it's no bullshit. Like, more things go wrong probably for high performers than any, because we're constantly going, right? But because of all those lessons, because we persist, because we keep going, because the road is fucking tough and we have speed bumps and we fall on our face and we get hurt and we get back up, because we consistently get back up, we keep the momentum going, right? You see, there's a massive return on your investment in the bare minimum if you keep things in motion, right? And I know a lot of times you're like, oh, but that's the bare minimum. I don't know. But bro, the bare minimum is better than nothing. Because when you do nothing, then you have to recover. You have to get back up to just where you were. And instead of, if you did the bare minimum that day, at least you showed up. At least you kept going. At least you kept the ball rolling. And this is what we're talking about here, right? Proving to yourself, creating that mental toughness that you have what it takes to show up even when you don't want to. Discipline isn't hard. It's habitual, right? You just have to keep it on life support long enough until it starts thriving again, my friend. And I know I laugh there because sometimes it really feels that way. Sometimes it's just like, it's like, bro, I'm fucking so exhausted about this. I don't know. And then you show up and you're like, oh, I feel like I'm going to die. I feel like this and that. But it literally feels like you're fucking on life support. But then if you push through, the next day you wake up and you're like, man, I'm so glad I didn't give up. Because today is another new day. Thank you, God. And that right there, when you do that consistently time and time again, you build yourself up. You build your self-belief. You build your confidence. You create this fucking massive shift for yourself internally that doesn't fucking quit when things get wrong, when things go wrong, when things go tough, when shit goes sideways, because most of the time it fucking will. Life's not easy. This is my wife's Cuban, right? So there's this saying that the Cubans always say, like, not fácil. Right? And it means it's not easy, right? And so it ain't easy, but you got to keep going, my friend, right? Like, man, on a rough day, right? Like a 20-minute walk is enough to keep your identity as someone who moves, right? A 5-minute journal entry when you're just busy and can't stop Could be the shift that your mind needs to stay alive. It could be the thing that creates the breakthrough to that problem that you're trying to solve. Right? Like sending a simple, hey, just thinking of you, baby. Just a simple text. It prevents days of emotional disconnect in your relationship. And so think about what are the small things that you can do when you don't feel like doing it anymore, right? Maybe you could just do something small to keep the momentum rolling. And then the next day you're gonna look back and you'll be like, man, I'm so glad I did that. And so my question for you as we wrapped up this episode, right, is this. What area of your life are you letting slide, thinking that you'll catch up later? And then my challenge for you, right, is I want you to identify one area this week where you've been slipping, right? Where you don't go big anymore, right? Where you've just been wanting to give up, where you're like, oh fuck it, I'll just try to catch up later. And then but the reality is that you never end up catching up, right? So what is one area in your life where you've been slipping, right? And don't go fucking ham. Just go consistent, right? Set a bare minimum bar, right? And hit a daily, like non-negotiable thing with this task for 7 days, right? Post it if you have to, share it, track it. Be the man who stays in motion, not the man who fucking creates excuses of why you couldn't make shit happen. Fuck being a victim, be a victor. You don't need more energy, dog. What you need is less recovery. Right? Stay close to the standard, right? Because catching up is a hell of a lot harder than keeping up, my friend. Yes, make time to recover. I'm all about hustling, grinding. And you do need a lot of energy to grind, right? But it comes to a certain point where you have to be mentally tough, right? And you're like, man, at this point, I just don't need more energy, right? Like I don't need to stop and recover. What I need to do is I need to hit my fucking non-negotiable. And this is the standard that I'm setting for myself. This is the bare minimum, right? This is where it will all change. This is where I raise my baseline and I prove to myself that when I don't want to, when I don't feel like it, when shit is hard, when things feel like go blowing up, I still showed up for myself. And that is how you create the internal belief, the internal confidence you need to create the life that you fucking want. Yo, I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground and I'm calling all the motorsport enthusiasts who want to improve their situation. Let's break free from all the shit that's been holding us back and become the badass motherfuckers that we're all meant to be. Breaking the stereotype is exactly what we're here to do. This movement is called Live Your Life Wide Open, and helping others level up is the mission that God has tasked us with. My friend, you still haven't subscribed yet? Bro, what are you waiting for, dog? It's time to smash that button so you never miss another episode. And if you vibed with today's message, if it resonated with you, and if you want to help contribute to this growth, to this mission, to this movement that we're doing, dog, do me a solid and share this episode with one of your buddies, with one of your friends, with someone that means a lot to you, right? Because that right there is how we help more and more heads, more gearheads, more men like you and I to connect and to really see and hear about this podcast. And ultimately, that's how our community will grow. Catch up with you on the next episode. But till then, live your life wide open, my friend. Peace.